Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Dawntide. The Billy update is fresh off the press. As in, like, I refreshed the page until I saw the number change, and now it's here. I'm ready. Let's get into it. It's dark, but it's warm. It's really warm. Did you turn the heating off the timer again? Did you turn the heating off of the timer again? What? Climbing the stairs before me, Sal checks the thermostat in the kitchenette. A short tut punctuates the click of a dial being turned. It's been on all day, dude. Sorry, I rushed out this morning. Wasn't paying attention. I wander across the living room. To be fair, I should have spotted it. Just keep an eye on it next time. In the dark, Sal leans against the kitchen counter. She turns to me as I slump down on the sofa. It was good to finally meet your... ex? Yeah, that's him. I can see why you liked him. Handsome. I feel my ears fall flat behind me. I look down as I start to untie my boots. Sure is. Was it a bad thing to see him? You've been quiet all the way home. I tug at my heel and the boot comes loose. No, it's good to see him. It was just... I grunt, tugging the boot off and placing it on the floor. Unexpected. Sal moves a little closer. I don't look directly at her, instead untying the other boot. Alright, it's just that you seem to be doing better this evening until then. I said before, it's just a lot of pressure with people coming back, and now there's another... I pull at the laces too fast. The friction burns at the scar tissue under my fingers. Ah! I give my hand a shake, then press the 2.5 digits up to my mouth. Is this bringing something up? I continue to wrestle my foot from the other boot. It's fine. She stands across from me. There's an almost foreboding sense of understanding. Picking up the boots in my left hand, I stand. Today was good. I've just got some things to think about. Okay. I pace to the door, then I give in. Thanks for asking, Sal. I appreciate it. You're doing good, Rai. Good night, Sal. The air is still warm from the thermostat. The bed's like a toaster. Though cloudy, the feelings of today are alive in my chest. I remain restless after what should have been a tiring day. Seeing everyone again was nice, but it doesn't feel real now. It all exists in this hazy world, just like the empty shopfront window. It's as if it happened months ago and I'm struggling to hold on to the details. The more I think about it, the more I realize how quickly this will pass. Ranzo will set off. Billy will finish uni and stay up north. And Griff, he'll disappear. I can't blame them. I'd bet that Joe and Sal are looking for ways out too. They've looked after me enough. I know Billy still talks to Eliza. They probably talk shit about you. You should have left when you could. You know how to manage it if that happens. Starlight bleeds through the tin curtains and picks out the edges of things laying still. Thin curtains, not tin. An open bag on my desk. Today's clothes draped over a chair's backrest. 1 a.m. My boots wait by the door. Do you know how to manage now? Pushing the sheets off of me, I turn to sit upright. I take my clothes from the backrest. Sitting on the edge of my bed, fully clothed, the feeling of something burning in my stomach. It's time for a walk. The walk up to the cliffs has made my breath heavy. The few lights of the town behind me are all that confirm I'm not lost in the wilderness. Though my legs are tired, I'm still restless. Maybe Billy was right. I need more exercise than this. My eyes scan the heathers. Their sharp prickles look soft as moss. The wind sends hackles through them. I see Keel's Rock below, sitting just out from the cove. Its wave-battered edges face the eastern horizon. The old wreck post stands atop it, worn and white against the sea. The thought of going down there now that he's back feels strange. It's not like you came here to meet him. Not last night either. I grind my heel in the dirt and keep walking. At the crest of the hill is a small lay-by. It's a good spot for hikers to park to get a good view of the cove. It's near where he used to live. No cars pass at this time of night. In the silence, a worn-out red sedan lurks just off the road, its lights off. A figure stands beside it, leant to one side, a knowing anticipation. His muzzle is long and pointed, his eyes shadowed by the peak of a flat cap. He's thin as a branch. Clothes hang across him like half-drawn sails. Another late one, Firecracker. Hey, Graham. I cross the potholed ground, meeting him at the bumper. I stand with my hands in my pockets. His smile is kind. It wrinkles at the seams as he speaks. Trouble sleeping again? His eyes are visible now beneath the cap, glinting and deep set. Sorry to call you up this late. Eating sleep doesn't do me much good these days. Young man like you should get it while he can. He surveys the length of the empty road. It stretches until its edges are swallowed by dark. You got your steps in, then? Ready to head back? With a half smile, I nod. He tips his slender snout towards the car. Keeping my eyes on his, I pace along my side of the vehicle. I open the back door and lower myself to the seat. He edges along the hedge on his side. I close the door behind me. It's echoed by Graham's entrance on the other side. The silence of the countryside is further muffled. The engines and lights stay off. Cotton trousers brush against aged upholstery. No wrinkle of fabric goes unannounced. The air is still in here, dusty, pierced by a lingering sweetness. Small, punctuated breaths. My leg shifts on the seat to settle on a well-worn patch. Graham's posture loosens. A quiet hiss from his side of the car. A breath is held, then. White vines of smoke crawl across his silhouette. The smell of dust is slowly smothered. Fingers spread across my thigh. Mine trace through them in return. They find their way between his shirt and his stomach. There's no force as he presses at the back of my spine, but I'm pulled towards him as if there was. I feel one of his ribs beneath short, coarse hairs. My lips, pressed against his, move as he speaks. That's it. The taste on his tongue is sweet and thin. It spreads to the back of my mouth like burnt sugar. The hand on my thigh tenses, encroaches. I feel his sharp canines on the tip of my tongue. A sound escapes my shallow throat. My hand dips under his waistband. Elastic under fabric, over my wrist. Edging down each thigh. Lips drag over navel. I feel each breath shudder up through me as I reach what we're both searching for. I already know what he's going to say. Good boy. My old mountain bike lies belly up on the floor, balanced on its handlebars. Billy kneels beside it, wrench in hand. He inspects the frame like a war surgeon assessing the damage on a fallen comrade. When's the last time you rode this? Probably a year ago. You need to oil it more. You're meant to oil it. Billy leans in closer, holding the pedal in one hand while the wrench bites at the point between the pedal and the... What's that part called? The crank arm? Oh, okay. The wrench bites at the point between the pedal and the crank arm. It takes a few labored attempts to make the bolt turn. Billy sprays it with some kind of aerosol lubricant. You better not be getting any of that on the floor, Billy. I put newspaper down. Thanks. Riley, can I use some of your coffee? I'm out of instant. Sure. Want me to make it for you? Only if you don't mind. I don't know how to use your stovetop thing, and I'm trying to find something right now. I leave Billy's side and move into the kitchen area, emptying and rinsing the coffee pot. What are you looking for? A book my mom lent me. Mercia's Business Secrets or something like that. Sounds a bit gaudy. I turn the coffee beans in the little handheld grinder. Sal always buys such thoughtful gifts. Too bad you always burn the coffee. Business Secrets of the Mercian Monks? I've read that one. You read that one? You read? It is quite hard to imagine Billy sitting down with a book by the fireplace. Don't be a dickhead. I put on audiobooks at the gym. What did you think? The pedal finally comes loose, falling onto the paper-covered floor. Billy wipes his snout. It was shite. It's more of a sermon than anything helpful. I mean, what did you expect with that title? You're not meant to judge a book by its cover, are you? I turned it off halfway through. Same. I couldn't stop reading it in my mother's voice. You can unpack that one in your own time. I funnel the ground beans into the pot and set it down on the stove. You starting a business then, Billy? Maybe, eventually. I do a bit of trading now and then, stocks and shit. Not taking over your dad's company? Couldn't if I wanted to. He'll be on the grind till he's in the ground. I just need something to passive right now. Get the money to make itself, and while I'm out training. Billy holds one of his clip-in pedals up to the crank arm. It glimmers against the dull, sullied steel. Sounds smart. Can't make it by on championship money alone, right? A wry grin blooms on Billy's face as he fastens the pedal into place. Going pro is still plan A. Hear that? He's got a plan A, which implies the existence of at least a plan B or C. You haven't even gotten one of those sorted yet. I watch the coffee start to stream out of the top of the spout. I turn the heat down to a simmer. What do you invest in then? What makes the most money? I'm not giving out my skills here for free here. Billy points the wrench at me. What are you gonna wear for this then? I've got joggers and a sweater in my room. Forget joggers. You got any shorts? Shorts? It's freezing. You'll warm up once we get going. Put these on too. He reaches into his duffel bag and slings some lycra undershorts my way. The crotch section is lined with plush padding. Oh, right. They won't be a perfect fit because, well, you know. The whole cock and ball situation. A few bubbles splutter quietly at the top of the spout. I remove it from the heat and pour it out for Sal, who's still scanning the room for her lost book. The mug has a warning sign printed on it which reads, "Rocket fuel, do not drink." Joe got her that. Thanks, Rye. Oh, something I wanted to say, actually. Yep. I'm getting a gift for Ronzo from everyone to celebrate his promotion. Do you mind chipping in? Of course. Sure thing. Thanks. I'll keep it under a $5 each. Got to head to Mom's first, though. What are you going there for? Getting the car so we can go to the beach for the lantern night. Nice one. I haven't had a sesh on the beach in time. Yeah, it's been a while. Right. I better get changed. Better not freeze to death in shorts. I throw the dressing gown onto my bed and hold up the funny-looking underwear. Isn't it a bit weird to be wearing your friend's pants? He gave them to you. He thinks it's fine, so it's fine. I hold them out close to the ground, taking a shallow step into them, as if they're a bowl of scalding water. The elastic clings tight to my leg hairs. They spring up on end as I pull them up past my thighs. The waistline snaps into place below my stomach. I face the mirror. You look like shit. It could be worse, couldn't it? What were you expecting? You said yourself. You don't get much exercise. Your stomach is hanging over the waistband like the end result of a science fair experiment. It's not the worst thing in the world, is it? You've got dad bod. You like dad bod? More so on other people. You've got it about 20 years too early, too. Look at those shoulders. Look at those feet. Completely out of proportion. Maybe you should stop looking at the mirror if you're gonna be like this. Maybe if you get into cycling, you can fit into all this stuff a little easier. God, you were supposed to be a twink. You let the whole team down. I dig through the wardrobe. A sweater is folded on the top shelf, alongside a sports shirt. I swear the running shorts should be here too, but I see no sign of them. I push clothes around on their hangers. Maybe they're under something else. At the end of the rail, there's an old jacket I haven't picked out in a while. There's something under it. I push my hand under the collar. It falls on rough velvet. Delicate lace shimmers on its edge. The dress hangs there, its thin support clinging tight around the coat hanger's neck. Forgot this was here. Billy's voice cuts through from the other room. How do they fit? I push the clothes back along the rail and get on my knees to inspect the bottom of the wardrobe. A bit tight, but fine. Nice. I've got the pedals done. Let's get going soon. Right on. Pushing my hand to the back of the closet, over shoeboxes and biscuit tins repurposed as storage, I feel something synthetic. I pull out the cheap, high-cut running shorts, a relic of my last foray into fitness. Hope these still fit. The journey began with the creaking of knees and the rattling of teeth. Billy's bike offered no cushioning on the town's cobblestones. Weaving through thin streets, we crept towards the main road to the coast. Tires soon met tarmac. Though a smoother surface, we had a long hill to tackle. The undershorts dug into my sides with each push off the pedals. My thighs began to burn from the effort. The pain was soon rewarded when we found ourselves out on the open road, on a flat stretch of road along the cliff tops that gave my lungs some respite. The pace became easier. Billy's bike cut through the oncoming wind like a knife, even with the chubby Martin on top offsetting its peerless aerodynamics. It was no surprise to me that Billy could keep pace on my old mountain bike. It was the perfect trade-off to keep us at the same speed. The quiet road wound back and forth between the cliff edge. the wires of telegraph poles bowed up and down in rhythmic sequence. There were some short hills, followed by easy, freewheeling declines. I was beginning to see what made this so appealing. Whenever I caught Billy's face, he was smiling. I had imagined him having the tone of a drill sergeant, ordering me about, telling me to keep up, but the only time he spoke was to offer words of sporting encouragement. Maybe the gentle beat of the road was calming enough to wash away the more boisterous aspects of his personality. It soon became apparent that this was just the warm-up. Okay, left here. Left? A fork in the road. To the right, more easygoing cliff tops. To the left, an imposing hill through the woods. Yeah, you managed it out of town. You can manage this. Are you sure? Before I can finish, Billy rises from his saddle, powering into the turn. He shouts, "You got this, Rye!" Ales! I mimic Billy's posture, grabbing the handlebars hard and rising from my saddle to meet the challenge. The hill never stops. The end of the climb is always obscured by the curve of the road, spiraling ever upwards. Just when you think you're there, it keeps going. Wheels keep grinding, lungs keep burning. I can hear the chain of my old mountain bike clicking, and Billy pulls it up with him all the same. I knew he was fit, but it's only in seeing his body pushed to such an extreme that I truly realized how he's crafted himself. Beneath his jersey, I see the micro motion of all the muscles in his back, rippling from blade to blade, tense and release, tense and release. With every push and pull of the pedals, his thighs become braids of wrestling snakes. His right calf strains beneath the bindings of its prosthetic. Light from parting leaves dapples him all over in sunny spots. They run off his back like droplets, following every curve until they meet the ground. Alone, I would have given up on this climb long ago, but I'm so mesmerized by his effort that I feel pulled out of my own body. It's not just his effort you're being mesmerized by. I push my mind somewhere else. I think about his smile from earlier in the ride. I know it's burning even brighter right now. Then something snaps. Something twists. The moment folds in on itself, dragging Billy with it. Shit! We made it to the top of the hill, pushing the bikes by foot. My mountain bike is back in its belly-up position near the side of the road. Billy sits on a grassy slope, inspecting the broken crank. Sorry, I should have taken better care of it. Don't think it'd make a difference. Cheap cranks are cheap cranks. Should have known they couldn't take the pull-up from cleats. Cleats? These. He holds up the snapped-off portion of the crank, with a metal clip where the pedal would normally be. Oh, what do they do? They're for clipping your shoes into the pedal. Gets more power in each revolution. I've got an extension on the end of my leg, too. Oh, shit! The jagged edge of the crank glistens bright red. I look down to Billy's shin. It's marked with a broad stroke across that calf muscle. A matted line of red fur runs down to his ankle. You're bleeding! Billy twitches his nose as he inspects the wound. Shh. Thought that stopped. He drops the crank into the grass by his side and unzips his jersey. Shrugging it off of his shoulders, he starts to peel off the tight t-shirt underneath. As it comes off, electricity prickles through his fur. He runs his palm over his face to readjust everything before sending a bolt of static into my shoulder with his finger. Ow! That's for looking. He wraps the shirt around his hand, using it to wipe down the wound. It'll get infected. Wait, isn't that all sweaty and stuff? It's merino wool, antibacterial. I'm not sure it works like that. You got anything else? I look down. All I can think of is my sweater. It's been in your wardrobe for God knows how long. It'll probably harbors bacteria unknown to modern science. Before I can say anything, he's already tied the shirt around his shin, pulling it into a knot on the outside edge. It's been an easy ride so far. It's still clean. An easy ride? That hill must have gone on for 5 miles. Nowhere near. You're lying. Billy turns his attention back to the bike, chuckling. We're only 10 miles out of town. Most of it was flat. Only 10 miles? You said you wanted a workout. He teases the remaining pedal back and forth on the other side of the bike. The chain has gotten caught up between the crank and the frame. Can you grab my tools? They're in the saddlebag. Sure. What do they look like? You'll see them. I shuffle over to Billy's bike, lying on its side against the bank. I unzip the bag on the underside of his saddle. It was packed tight. A few things fall out. A wallet, a small roll of tools, a folded rubber tube, and a hand pump. Puncture repair stuff. Smart. I recoil the rubber tube and squeeze it back into the tiny bag. His wallet lies open in the grass. As I pick it up, it feels heavy. The first thing my eyes are drawn to is a stack of cards sandwiched together on one side. He's got a lot of them. Who needs as many cards? You just have one. You should think about getting something other than a debit card. Build up a credit score. You can't be trusted with a credit card. You'd be in debt so fast. Something pokes out from between a few 20 sterling notes. It's made of shiny red plastic, flat and spiked along one edge for easy tearing. Of course, Billy always keeps a Johnny handy. Look at him. Absolute shagger, that one. Does that make sense, though? Does he... well... Actually, you should keep your nose out of his business. And out of his wallet. You find him yet? I snap the wallet shut, cramming it back inside the bag and taking the tools. Think so. I place the tools in Billy's open hand like a nurse assisting a surgeon. Ta? Is that like a thank you? I don't know. He's wrapped the jersey around one of his hands like a glove to handle the greasy chain. The contours of his body are even clearer now than when he was cycling ahead of me. Even just sitting there, his muscles flex under coffee-hued hairs. He must be cold. Want to warm him up? Stop it. You want my jumper? All good. It is sort of humid today. Strange. He raises his arm right to steady the frame. His right arm to steady the frame. Beneath it, there's a splash of pink and purple. A long, bumpy scar runs the length of his pectoral muscles. The top of it follows a smooth arc, roughened slightly by the short bristles of his chest. Little islands of fur break off amidst the ripples of scar tissue. That's all healed up properly now, yeah? Oh, the chest? Yeah, no more issues. I look back to the shirt wrapped around his shin, blood appearing in spots along one side. You sure? It looks a mess, but it's fine. It happens. I nod, taking his word for it. I know what you're thinking. What do you mean? You're thinking what everyone thinks when they see it. Yeah, I didn't rest right, okay? I didn't say anything. Had enough people bring it up is all. I mean, I get it. You didn't want to lay around and lose your workout progress, did you? That's part of it. His expression is more distant, fiddling with one of the links. What's the other part? Gotcha. The chain frees its grasp on the frame. One end still seems to be caught in the gears. Billy? He adjusts the bike to get a better angle. He points a tool towards my missing fingers. You know when you lost those? Bet you had to keep going in and out of the hospital, right? Yeah. Had to keep going in for redressings and tests and stuff. It was so tiring. And painful. And not to mention the risk of infection. Now imagine how long this took. He uses the same tool to tap against his prosthetic. Top surgery weren't nearly as bad, but it reminded me of how it was when I lost the leg. I didn't want to deal with it again. I hated being in the hospital. Months in bed. Physio, fittings, going around on crutches all the time. That must have been rough. The roughest part was not being able to surf anymore. Never got the balance back for it. You seemed pretty confident when you first joined our year group? I don't know what that means. You seemed pretty confident when you first joined our year group. You came in looking like a war hero. His back straightens, shoulders broaden. I think he liked that comment. It would have been nice to come back as Billy, though. Did you know you were Billy, even back then? He bites his tongue, eyes flicking off to the horizon before returning to the task at hand. Sort of. I know I didn't look like looking at all the medical forms, seeing F's on everything. Always felt weird. How old were you then? 14? 15, I think. That year was kinda hazy. You know how it is, right? You know something before you know it, but it's only after you know it that you really knew that you knew, you know? I think so. I lean back on the grassy slope. It's weird to think that through all of school I'd known Billy by a name I now barely remember. How come you didn't tell us? His wrist flexes, applying pressure. A sad smile tickles his lips. It's scary, isn't it? Scary. The word sounds strange coming from him. Scared we wouldn't get it? I don't think most people really get it. That's fine, though. It was more like... His eyes catch the horizon again, hands guided by muscle memory. Once I became Billy to other people, there's no going back on it. I had to make it work. I hated all the clothes. I hated the makeup. But I didn't want to screw things up. I had my family. I had friends. I didn't like that name, but it's how everyone knew me. I was scared that I'd lose that. I was scared that even though I felt bad then, maybe it could feel worse. But the more I wore all that stuff, the more I heard that name, the more it felt like whatever was on the other side couldn't be worse. So, one day I took the leap. Didn't regret it. We're all glad you did. Don't go all soppy on me now, Rye. He lets out a long-held breath. Only wish I'd done it sooner. I didn't know you'd felt that way for so long. I'm sorry. Not your fault, is it? I'd seen how much shit some people had given you at school, too. Did that make it harder for you to come out? It kind of made me want to come out more. Really. There were lots of people in school who seemed alright at first. Then they'd talk the queer kid when you'd see a different side of them. If I was out, I'd know where people really stood with me. I could tell them to stuff it and if they had a problem. So what happened when you did come out? There were some pricks. Mostly people I never knew anyway. Even with the ones who did, it was like, who cares? Who are you? He starts to get up, using his left foot to push the back wheel out of the frame. The bicycle shakes, the back wheel jolts. The chain rattles out from between the gears, coiling on the floor. He wipes his brow with one hand. His other holds the wheel. I met Billy before they ever did. They don't know him. If they're gonna be like that, they don't get to know him. Billy stands tall against the sky. He becomes a statue, a warrior with shield in hand. But Billy wouldn't want time to stop for him. He's always moving somewhere. He turns his head back down to me. Your bike's fucked, by the way. What? He drops the wheel in the uncut grass. Chain's buckled. Had to break it to get the back wheel off. Why'd you take the wheel off? 'Cause the chain's buckled. So, after all that, we're back in the same place then? No. This way you can put it in the boot of a car. He unfurls the jersey and slips it back on. The back is stained gray and black. So we're not cycling back to town? You say, relieved. You grab a lift. I'm gonna swap the pedals back over and ride back. No, you're not. You're hurt. I'm fine. You probably shouldn't stress it. It's all downhill from here. I'll go easy on the flats. Just get in the car if we can get a lift. I stand up beside him and grab my phone, looking down at the dissected bicycle. Reckon I could sell the parts? Could scrap it. 50p maybe. 50p? This was $250 new. I assume it should be pounds? Not an asterisk? When was that? 10 years ago? It's got shite brakes, shite gear set. The bottom bracket is probably rusted. Scrap it. Or maybe you could turn it into one of your weird art pieces. Sal said she's getting the car today. I'll see if she can get us. I unlock my phone and flick across to my messages. I don't have any signal. 0 bar. You got anything? Billy checks his phone. Nah. Shit. Hang on. He reaches back into the pocket, retrieving a small black clamshell. Flipping it open, the black and green dot matrix screen shows some unread messages. Nothing. We're in a dead spot. Hold on. Why's Billy got a phone like that? He's usually all high-tech, light-speed fiber optic broadband. What's he doing with using a brick like that? I point towards it. What's that about? This? Different provider, mate. Pay as you go for when I go abroad. Looks a bit cheap for your tastes. Can't splash out everywhere, Riley. You only make as much money as you save. Come on, let's see if there's signal up the hill. I should have known that nothing would be easy with Billy. One hill, then another one, and another one still. Even now, with his leg bandaged and bleeding, he leads the way ahead of me. My feet are weary and my knees are cold, and a part of me wants to complain, but I'm smothered by the effort. Yet for all my whinging, when we get to the top, I see the breadth of Kirnith laid out before me. A strip of green coddled on both sides by arms of the ocean. The land is a patchwork quilt of farmland with trees breaking out wild, undarned spots. Specks of muddy gray where towns and villages stud the earth, drawn together by thin charcoal vines. If I squint, I can just about make out cars creeping along them and like metallic beetles. My eyes wander back to places I've been. Pole Howl, Port Warren, Keels Cove. They all seem lost up here. Lost in the same way that a memory from childhood does. I take a breath and let it lift me higher. If I close my eyes, I could believe those places and all the people in them never existed. I didn't realize we'd get this high. Puff puff, it's 420, haha. Brayuela, highest spot in Kernith. I believe it. Wait, you took me cycling to the highest spot in the county? Yep. Couldn't we have started with something a bit easier? You did it, didn't you? Now anything else will be easier by comparison. It's so still here. Still enough that my thoughts could lay still with it. Wishful thinking. Wait, what time is it? Despite my better judgment, I open my phone again and look at the clock. Griff! Shit. What? It's nearly 12:30. I'm meant to be meeting Griff at 1. Griff. Who's that again? It's complicated. Just a friend. Which is it? Complicated or just a friend? Both. Ex? Long time ago, but yeah. How come you're meeting up now? He's back in town. Hasn't been here for years. Name sounds familiar. Did I ever meet him? I think it was just before you came into our year at school. Long time ago, then. Suppose so. Still fancy him? Yes, then. Didn't say that. So what's the date for if you don't fancy him? It didn't say it was a date either. Billy looks back down the hill with a silent laugh. The road curves out between two sets of trees on either side. Keep an eye out for cars. Might still have time. I don't recall seeing a car come by for a while. Even when we were on the road, I think only 2 or 3 passed us by. What if nobody drives this way today at all? What will you do? Will you have to stay here overnight? You won't get back in time to see Griff. He'll think you're not interested, or worse. Settle down. Worst thing that'll happen is you're back to where you were a day ago. That's what you're worried about. I look across the land again. Eyes now laser focused on Port Warren, as if I could will myself back there in an instant. Not a bad place to be stuck, is it? Port Warren? I meant here, but sure. You could take my bike if you want. I haven't changed over the pedals yet. You serious? And leave you here? He shrugs. I'll survive. It's probably the only way you'll get there quick enough to not leave Griff hanging. And so what if you do? He left you hanging for 10 years. And this is the one chance to undo that. Billy offered it the bike. Did he really offer? Or is he just making the assumption you're selfish enough to take it? Billy's injured. He's bleeding. What if you leave him here for days and it gets infected really, really badly and they have to amputate his other leg? All right. But when Griff gets the wrong idea, I'm not taking the blame. You never do. I unclench my jaw as I loosen my eyes' grasp on the harbor. Thanks, but I'm not leaving you here with your leg all banged up. I've had worse. He smirks down at his metal shin. For what it's worth, getting back with exes is a bad move. I don't think the just friends thing works either. Maybe this is a sign to cut your losses. You and Jess not staying friends then? His nose twitches, expression stiffens. Don't think so. What happened? I thought you two were doing good. Said already. Too busy. You got time to start a business, apparently. Yeah, well. He hooks his finger through the O-ring zipper on his jersey. I don't know if relationships are my thing anyway. How come? Compatibility. Do you still fancy her? Billy moves the zip up and down absent-mindedly. She's fit, but... He doesn't finish the thought. What happened? You a detective now? I was thinking more relationship counselor. You're definitely not qualified for that. I told you my stuff about Griff, so go on. He's wondering whether to keep this to himself. But he knows he's stuck up here with someone who won't stop asking questions. When I went out with new mates at Freshers Week, none of them knew about the whole situation. Being trans? He nods. It was a bit of a confidence boost, I guess. Passing. I thought you were pretty open about it from what you said earlier. I am. But people latch on to stuff like that, don't they? I wanted to make my first impression, then tell them. And I did, eventually. He tapers off again, catching his silence with a stern sniff that twists into a grin. When we went out that night at Freshers, this guy, Darren, chucked me a Johnny and said, "Good luck tonight, mate." I just took it, even though I knew I weren't ever going to use it. Thought of it as a good luck charm. That's when you met Jess? Not that night. Did pull, though. Always pulled. Sounds like it was going pretty good then. Suppose. A guy like you probably has girls queuing up around the block. Steady on. He chuckles under his breath. Well, there was a catch. I'd go out, meet a lass. We'd have some drinks, dance a bit, get friendly. She'd be into it. She'd be flirty, and I'd be there like, does she know? I'd back out a lot. Wouldn't take it further. Again and again. Not knowing what was on the other side, right? Well, I found out eventually. There was this one girl, Megan or something. She was proper keen, and she asked to go to my place. We leave, we get back to mine. It's going good. She's taking my kit off, unbuttons my shirt all slow. Then she undoes the belt, puts her hands down. His face stiffens. Maybe I should have said something. What happened? She kicked off, throwing my stuff back at me, shouting at me. I'm not a fucking lesbo. You tricked me. Turfy shit like that. God, I'm so sorry. An exasperated sigh blows through him. It's fine. She left, obviously. Did she tell other people? Luckily, she didn't go to our uni, so I didn't see her again. Phew. It stuck with me, though. It made things worse. I started avoiding any girl who showed interest. Stupid, really. I don't think it's stupid. You took a risk on something you were worried about, and the thing you worried about happened. I'd say that's a pretty good reason to be worried. Yeah, but I didn't die, did I? The world didn't end. I kept telling myself, you're no worse off than you were before. It got easier with time. I started going for it again, but I was still on edge. When I did pull, I'd always always go to the girl's place so I could leave after. I'd go down on her, but not much else. That's some gossip that did around about me. Mates started calling me scuba diver. Scuba diver? He raises his eyebrows, smirks, and recites the line slowly. He goes down and doesn't come up for air. I try to stifle the laugh, but I can't. Wow. Worst things to be known for, I guess. It got a bit obvious after a while that I wasn't going beyond that, though, you know? I was still worried about it. Still worried about the reaction. So, I decided to go somewhere I felt like it wouldn't be a problem. I went to a gay bar. Oh shit, what's this now? Oh, I didn't realize that was your thing. His nose twitches as he flashes me an inquisitive look. You know what I mean. A queer bar, not just men. Ah, right. It's a bit embarrassing that one of the straightest people you know has been to a place like that before you have. It was a bit weird at first, like I was admitting defeat. Defeat? You know, like saying, I can't make it work anywhere but here. Like I had to go there. It had a pretty good atmosphere, though. Less dickheads than regular clubs, so I kept going. Is that where you met Jess, then? Yeah. Was she bi? Or just there with gay friends? She's trans, too. Oh, what? You never told me this. You never met her. You never brought her down. You never came up. Okay, fair. But this sounds like it would be important to you. I thought you'd mention it once or twice. I didn't want to draw attention to it, I suppose. It was different, though. Billy's eyes widened for a moment. Very different. Not having to worry about her reaction? Yeah. And it was nice to just go out with someone. I took her to the clubs. She took me to some theater stuff. It was nice for a bit. Billy goes quiet for a moment, his smile turning flat and pensive. But, I mean, have you ever heard me saying I wanted to go and watch a musical before? Or see some cartoon film? Or go to some talk about the radical vulnerability of gardening? No, but that's what you do with partners, right? Get into their interests. It was all right to start with, but it was all me adjusting for her. I was always the one changing. I've done enough of that. I know who I am. Must feel nice. The longer it went on, the more obvious it got that we didn't have anything in common. Not beyond all that. There's something in his eyes that he's not letting go of. Did you love her? A bit intense of a question, maybe. No. Really? Just no? You went out for like 3 years. It was 3 years of waiting for something else to happen. 3 years trying to get on with her friends. 3 years feeling like I was stuck. What was wrong with her friends? Drama queens. Always fighting about something. Always talking behind each other's backs. They'd start arguments just for the sake of having something to argue about. Like whether or not asexuals are included in the anagram. The anagram? LGBTQ and all that. You mean acronym? He scoffs. Okay, little Miss Dictionary. Maybe you should spend less time on big weights and more time on big words. That brings his smile back. You know another big word? What? Gastrocnemius. I feel like there must be a letter missing there. That doesn't sound right. What? It's your calf muscle. Watch out! I feel something cold and hard jab across the spot below the back of my knee. I fold like a garden chair and fall back into the grass. Billy cackles above me. As I go down, my foot skids out from underneath me. As if guided by a current of karmic justice, it connects with Billy's heel. Ah! Shit! He tries to steady himself, but he's already off balance, and there's nowhere to go but down. We lay beside one another, facing the sky at the top of the county, giggling like children. You're fucking vicious, you are. It was an accident. It still counts as a hate crime. You did it first. To a gay, no less. Well, I'm trans too, so it's a double hate crime. I win. We let our giggles get carried away on the wind, watching the clouds drift slowly above. I'm sorry things didn't work out with Jess. It's fine. He pauses again. I let him find his thoughts. So, what are your rates? My rates? For the therapy session. I mean, I didn't really say anything. I just let you say stuff. That's what therapy is, isn't it? You doing any of that at the moment? Therapy? No, why? You seem like the type. What type is that? Mental? Yeah. He got your ass. I meant that you're all sensitive. You like to think about stuff. I'm not sure I'd say that I like to think about stuff. But you do think about stuff. Is that how low the bar is for being sensitive? You know what I mean. You're all arty. You would have gotten on with Jess. Given what you just said, I don't know how to take that. You've got some of her good qualities. You love that queer bar, by the way. They do drag nights on Fridays. You should come up sometime. Sure. Maybe. So that sounds like a no. It's a maybe. A maybe is just a no until you commit. It's just a lot of money to travel up to the city. And then it's a lot more money to stay there and to get drinks. Stay at mine. I'll buy you some drinks. Hell, I've even got the cab back from the bar. I'll even get the cab back from the bar. I can't let you do that. But you will. 'Cause it's gonna be a banger of a time. Think about it. You can dress up however you like. You'll be all dolled up at the bars. You see a guy you like, I'll go over and be your wingman. Aw, you do that for me? Yeah, even if the other guy's like 50. Fuck off. I know what you like, Riley. I don't judge. I mean, that's not all that I like. It's just what's around. You do like it a bit. It does something for you. We got more variety up there. Head up my way and you can take your pick of anyone you fancy. The catch. They have to not find you utterly repulsive. Alright, sounds good. So are you committing? Yes, do it, before the moment passes. The moment won't pass, but you'll definitely send a message by being indecisive. You don't have to commit to anything right now. You've got more important things to worry about, like getting back to town. Make some saves for choices. Okay, I'll do it. That's what I like to hear. I feel a heavy slap against my arm. It'll be good, trust. You won't want to come back here. I think that's what I'm worried about. Yeah? I've not been out of the county much. Just some family holidays and seeing my parents since they moved up north. A part of me wonders if seeing what else is out there is just going to make me feel jealous. Then I'm going to start craving something I can't get that often. So you go out of your way to avoid doing things that make you feel good, just because it'll make you wish you had it all the time? I don't avoid it, but sounds like you're avoiding it. You are. You've got a chance to come up to the city, get something you can't get here, something you want, and you're avoiding it. How do you know what I want? You've said. When? Years ago. When we had that Mandy, you said a lot about what you wanted. Who's Mandy? MDMA. You barely remember what you said to Sal last week over breakfast, let alone what you said while rolling around on stimulants as a teenager. Yeah, well, it's probably changed since then. What do you want then? I don't know. Come on, you must want something. You want Griff. You want someone to tell you what choices to make. Someone else to give you meaning. You just want a party. You want people to come looking for you. You want to lock the door and stay at home. You want to stay out till the sun comes up. You want to start the day early. You want to wake up covered in bruises. You want to sort your head out. You want to get high. You want to cry for no reason. You want to be held. You want to fuck. You want nobody to put their hands on you ever again. I don't know! I shout the words so loud they'd echo if there was anything around us but air. Billy sits up beside me. Hey, are you okay? I feel his hand rest on my forearm. I'm fine. My heart taps at the inside of your ribs. My heart taps at the inside of my ribs like it's trying to get out. I just don't know, okay? His hand stays on my arm. Words weakly rise in my throat and spill from my lips. Sorry. No, it's okay. What's up? When I try to think about it, it's like there are a million answers all at once. It's too much. I don't know why. He keeps his hand on my arm, holding me still. Let's try something. Close your eyes. What? Just close your eyes. What's he up to? Do you trust him? Do you trust anyone? Riley. He speaks with a calm authority I can't help but follow. I think that's probably a good place to pause this and give myself a little rest. Ugh, I feel that a little bit. The, being asked what you want and not having an answer. Ugh. Anyway, I hope you're enjoying this, and thanks as always for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.